Okay, let's go ahead and get into the stock market technical analysis. Drop me a thumbs up if you guys are finding value. Feel free to join in the private member group, link in the description below. Okay, so this morning, obviously a gap up, and I think when I'm looking at the charts, it does look like we have the potential for a rally here. So let me show you guys what I've got going on the charts. I'm looking at the ES, the S&P 500 futures, and this is the hourly chart. You can see basically I've got some resistance. We have several reactions here, and we're starting to break out now. We actually have broken out now and triggered a buy signal on the S&P 500 futures, the ES. This also came with bullish divergence. See the big bullish divergence on the hourly chart. So it tells me that there is the potential now for a decent rally. I don't believe, again, longer term on the daily chart, I do believe the all-time highs are in, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have, another rally. So I don't think we're going to take out the all-time highs, but I could see, a sizable rally on the ES, probably up to about right here. It's about 5.62 on, maybe above that, but we'll see. All right, so that's the thing. On the ES, we've now started to break out on the S&P 500 futures. Let's look at the S&P. So here's the SPY. If we go down to the hourly chart, you can see that basically the kind of a comparable downtrend line is basically right about there. So we don't have quite as many reactions on the SPY as we do on the ES. And we're pretty much at that resistance line on the SPY. So they need to, you need to see a breakout here as well in order to confirm that breakout. You kind of want to see the futures and the ETFs really break out at the same time. So, you get a breakout here, that's probably going to mean we're going to get a rally. Let's go over to the Nasdaq. We'll start off with the Nasdaq futures. You can see here on the futures, NQ, pretty good trend line to watch. We've got, basically a clear downtrend line, almost a little bit of a wedge, but maybe not quite. And here's some support down here. And clear bullish divergence. This is the divergence that I was pointing out on Friday. This bullish divergence remained on the futures. It just wasn't there on the ETFs, but we do have it on the futures, and it continues to, it continues to be there. So until we do need to see a breakout here. That would be the buy signal on the futures. But the divergence is telling me that we're likely going to get it, whether we get another leg down and then, breakout. I think there's definitely the potential for a short-term rally. Now, again, that doesn't mean that I believe we're going to rally up to new highs. I think the top is in for the Nasdaq and the triple Qs, but I think there's the potential for a rally. We also have, coming off the highs, really not the all-time highs, but the most recent highs. There's this downtrend line right here, several reactions, so that could be a target up there. I don't think we really would go much beyond that, anywhere around 19,352. To me, that looks like kind of the level, 19,352 on the NQ. But there's no buy signal on this quite yet. It hasn't broken out, so definitely need to keep an eye on that. And then here's the triple Qs, the hourly chart. Again, no buy signal on this either. So that's why I kind of decided to do the video right now. We've got several reactions to watch. I wanted to do the video now because I started to see the breakout in the ES, the SPY futures, but we haven't seen it break out and everything else yet. So I want to get the video out before maybe those breakouts trigger, if they are going to. Here's the 15-minute chart on the Nasdaq, or on the triple Qs. Slight bullish divergence right through here on the 15-minute. So yeah, we're kind of coming into resistance now on this 15-minute. A break above that could send us up to some higher levels. So keep an eye on that, and that's kind of the most important thing. The other thing that's important to watch, and I put out a private member post, is Nvidia, and I've been talking about this really all last week as well. This was really key in the private member group. We're still sitting there at major support. So if you look at the daily chart, this rolls all the way back to the October 2022 lows. And you can see on the daily chart, we've got several reactions, validating that as a trend line support, and we're sitting there. So it's not a sell signal. we've undercut it a little bit, like on Friday, and even today we're still kind of right around that level. So a recovery is bullish and a breakdown is bearish. That's it. And on the daily close, really it matters about what happens by the end of the day. Maybe we go nowhere today. I don't know, but in general, we haven't broken down, so it's not enough to say we have a major sell signal on Nvidia. And if we don't get that major sell signal on Nvidia, we're very likely not going to get it on the triple Qs. Only when this thing breaks will the triple Qs start to really impulsively move lower. So that tells me, if they want to hold this support and rally, because it's not objective to short here. It's not objective to short Nvidia right here. You're at major support. The only trade to make is to go long. And if there's buyers here and they want to buy it, and everybody dip buyers show up, probably going to rally up to 118.16 or this potential downtrend line. Okay, you can see I've got it kind of marked out. I would probably actually be leaning towards the downtrend line. And that would be a rally from where we're at now of about 18.5%. Believe me, if an Nvidia rallies up 18.5%, you're going to have enthusiasm come back into the market, and you're going to see the rest of the tech sector and the S&P 500 stage a rally as well. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what I'm looking at right now. That's the most important thing, I think, right now to keep an eye at. Financials. All right, so financials, we got the sell signal really last week. There's a break of trend. We did hit that first level of support, though. You can see this is where that was former resistance, and it came down to there, and that is now support. So I pointed that out to the private member group, letting you guys know, hey, the financials hit support on Friday. I covered my short trade at that support because, again, it's objective to cover a short trade when you hit support. And that's a good, well-defined level. So today we're seeing a bounce. Let me go down to the hourly chart. Yeah, we're bouncing. So we could bounce a little bit more, in fact, and we could even, it's potential to backtest the trend line. All right, we might backtest this trend line and put a divergent high. If the S&P 500 and the triple Qs do start to show that they're going to rally a little bit, then the financials, it's very guaranteed, it's highly probable, I guess, that we'll probably backtest this trend line and put in a new divergent high. Okay, so there's very much the potential for that. So keep an eye on that. The other trade I like is LLY. I like it short. We broke back down. I explained this in the video clearly on Friday. I don't see any technical change here today, so still looks like they're sellers. Now they might backtest, they might rally it back up to the trend line, and that's potential. But we're back below the uptrend line now. So rallies into resistance will likely get sold into. So if they want to ramp it up, it should get sold into, and we should trend lower. So that's really what I got. I don't see any real reason to pull a short to cover my short on this one. I still like it with more downside to come. I'm minimum 200-day moving average. Oh, and semiconductors, the SOXX. Someone asked me to cover that on Friday. Again, very similar to Nvidia. It's at support, or basically pretty close to support. Okay. Maybe a little, we haven't broken down. We haven't had a major sell signal on the major trend in the semiconductor sector. We did have a pretty impulsive selling last week, but it has not technically broken that major support level. So, and we're close enough now. It's not objective to be short, down here near that major support, especially with Nvidia sitting on support now. Now, if SOXX breaks this trend line, and especially if Nvidia breaks as well, then that's going to be a major sell signal. That will be a major technical change, and we very likely will see a pretty strong impulsive wave of selling. But until then, we're at support. And if I look, looking at the sectors today, all sectors are up. It's pretty much a relief rally. There was really impulsive selling last week, so we're seeing kind of a relief rally, and that's what I think we might get. It does actually seem like it's probably going to continue. On the triple Qs, there's a little bit of a relief rally, and just right now on the hourly chart, I'm really watching this trend line. All right, a breakout above that, I do believe is going to push us up to these higher levels, up around 469. It's really, I think there's dual resistance, so it could be right around there, about 468-ish, somewhere right in there. And we probably would get that, relatively quickly. So keep an eye on that. That's really what I'm looking at today, and I'll get the video out. Thanks. Bye.